In the span of a year, Kim Min-soo's once ordinary life took a sharp turn. Struck by a massive truck while crossing the street, he found himself thrust into an entirely new world. Initial tears and a longing to escape gave way to a glimmer of hope as he witnessed something that hinted at a way back home. Amidst the chaos of a battlefield where lives were dispensable, Kim Min-soo embarked on a mission to align his companions' endeavors with the ideals of justice. This odyssey forged in him qualities he had never possessed: courage and camaraderie, foreign to his mundane past. While conveying this evolution to his parents seemed futile, he embraced his newfound resilience. Despite enduring profound losses, the gains were equally momentous. As the year's journey nears its end, Kim Min-soo's comrade calls him. Pausing his letter, Kim Min-soo reflects on his futile words. With a whispered plea, he hopes to defeat the Demon King, return to his life, and make this year a fleeting memory. The image of his family and former life sustains him. United with his comrades, they breach the gate and vanquish the Demon King. Triumph follows as the village awakens to newfound freedom. Amid celebrations, Kim Min-soo dines with comrades. Amid reflection, his pale face confirms impending homecoming. Memories resurface: his tearful arrival, homesickness. Comforted by a companion, Kim Min-soo's emotions cascade. The group laughs and feels joyful as they stop hugging their comrade. Kim Min-soo is questioned about staying, yet it's clear that his heart aches for home. A compassionate wish for his future is offered, and gratitude is shared. Weeks pass, and a disheartening reality sets in. Kim Min-soo's savior status contrasts his personal despair. Returning, he faces new owners and painful news: his mother and father's tragic fates. Abandoned by school and society, Kim Min-soo is adrift. Separated from his old life, he's now just a faint presence. Without any support, everything around him falls apart. Kim Min-soo is left with a question as his heroic deeds seem insignificant when faced with abandonment. A collision with a stranger unfolds, mockery ensues, and Kim Min-soo starts crying. The stranger's anger escalates until a blade intervenes, delivering justice. In the wake of death, Kim Min-soo's transformation begins. Evoking his sword, he challenges indifference. A knight emerges, commanding attention. With a resolute swing, the hero's final act detonates power, obliterating his surroundings. Unyielding, he stands alone, rewriting the heroic narrative. Yet, beyond the climax, devastation consumes Seoul's Kangsu district. 3 weeks after the hero's rampage near Gyeonggi province, a chaotic sense of impending doom hangs over the world. Amidst this turmoil, Jung-soo Park and his family find themselves trapped in a traffic jam. As they're forced to leave their father behind, Jung-soo comforts his tearful sister and promises they'll reunite. Little did they anticipate the world's end taking this form. A police officer urgently announces the hero's approach, instructing everyone to abandon their vehicles and flee on foot. The family follows the crowd, and Jung-soo's mother warns him to look after his younger sister Dabin as they part ways. The hero's presence becomes more imminent as he crushes a tank in the traffic, sending panic through the people. Chaos ensues as everyone runs for their lives. On a cliff, the hero observes the panic with disdain, finding the survivors' struggle for escape disgusting. He decides to wipe them all out, leaping off the cliff with deadly intent. Amid the chaos, Jung-soo and Dabin run, but an accidental collision causes Dabin to drop her bunny doll, a gift from their absent father. Determined, Jung-soo resolves to retrieve it to honor their father's memory. As Jung-soo navigates the danger, he locates the bunny doll beneath a car. However, his efforts are interrupted by the hero's arrival, initiating a devastating attack. The hero's single slash cuts through buildings and lives, yet Jung-soo miraculously survives. He finds Dabin, only to witness her being obliterated by the hero's attack. The hero recognizes the profound loss in Jung-soo's eyes, reminiscent of Kim Min-soo. Jung-soo confronts Kim Min-soo, demanding to know if he is the hero. Kim Min-soo confirms his identity, leading to an intense confrontation. Despite Jung-soo's attempt to fight back, the hero overpowers him, ultimately impaling him with a sword. Jung-soo's life takes a tragic turn as he loses everything to the hero, transforming from a desperate survivor to a fallen victim. In the aftermath, a mage wakes the unconscious hero. As the hero awakens, Jung-soo's existence is forever altered. He becomes the very being he once despised, a hero with the power to shape the world's destiny. A year after the hero's destructive spree, governments crumbled along with Kim Min-soo. During the same time, vanished individuals reappeared as heroes. These 9 conquerors divided the land, leaving only Kim Min-soo's Seoul untouched. Within the dominion of the Golem hero on Jeju Island, So-min-jong's restless nights are plagued by thoughts of death. She confides this in her friend, who cautions her against uttering such ominous words for fear of invoking bad luck. Surprisingly, So-min resolutely welcomes the idea of being jinxed. Yet, their exchange is abruptly interrupted by threats from the Golem hero's underlings. They are coerced by the Golem hero's enforcers to work under threat. Shortly afterward, the hero of the Golems, Sung Woo-jeon, appears. With a mere gesture, he conjured a makeshift microphone and outlined the day's tasks: women to forage, men to construct the Sage Tower. Confused by the crowd's lifeless expressions, Sung Woo-jeon questions the atmosphere. Amid the brutal routine, So-min dares to voice disinterest in working with him. Sung Woo-jeon retorts, reminding them of their blessings, unlike becoming vampire prey or pawns of faith heroes. The silence angers him, leading to deadly energy projectiles. So-min's friend falls victim, leaving So-min as the lone survivor. Pressing the urgency, Sung Woo-jeon urges the crowd forward. In the subsequent hours, women commence their food-gathering duty. An old woman observes So-min and places her collected food in So-min's basket. Perplexed, So-min receives an exclamation. The old woman empathizes with So-min's struggles and offers respite. Encouraged to take a stroll, So-min learns about the old woman's lifelong task of picking tangerines. Grateful for the exchange, So-min is cautioned about golem eyeballs overhead. Seeking solace, So-min heads to the shore, a refuge from suffocation. Tears fall as she apologizes to her departed friend. Encountering a Navy officer, So-min shares tangerines. Begging for more, So-min learns of their intent to reclaim Jeju Island. The Navy's plea drives So-min's resolve. Despite her dread, So-min vows to reclaim the island. Witnessing John's brutality and hidden threats, So-min struggles. As So-min races to gather provisions, her internal turmoil becomes clear. Her yearning for death was rooted in her fear of an unfulfilled existence. She resolves to rebel against mere survival, vowing to fight back. Returning to the shore, So-min's resolve solidified. So-min's intentions were shattered as Sung Woo-jeon's brutality resurfaced, mercilessly slaying the naval officer. So-min was captured by Golem servants, revealing the eyeball threat. Sung Woo-jeon mocks her, shifting the blame. Just as her plight seems hopeless, a sudden light heralds the return of Jung-soo Park. In the aftermath, Jung-soo Park confronts So-min to clarify the dire circumstances. Sung Woo-jeon questions Jung-soo's identity and infiltration of his territory. Discovering that Jung-soo is not aligned with the Sword Hero's party, So-min discloses he's an underling of the Sword Hero and is now in control of Jeju Island and responsible for brutal massacres. Anchored by So-min's nonchalant demeanor, Sung Woo-jeon demands verification. Jung-soo Park fiercely probes, demanding confirmation of So-min's words. Shaken, Sung Woo-jeon begrudgingly acknowledges. In response, Jung-soo Park readies to attack, engaging Sung Woo-jeon's Golem forces. During the intense confrontation, Sung Woo-jeon utilizes his Golem eyeball and loyal servants in a bid to retaliate, but Jung-soo Park skillfully neutralizes these threats. Sung Woo-jeon's attempt to defend himself backfires, resulting in the severing of both his hands. Jung-soo Park swiftly strikes Sung Woo-jeon's chin, continuing the relentless assault and rendering him defenseless. So-min was surprised by Jung-soo Park's mastery as he single-handedly overpowers the once formidable Golem hero. Jung-soo Park presses Sung Woo-jeon for information about the mysterious white-armored hero, methodically severing Sung Woo-jeon's limbs one by one. Sung Woo-jeon, racked with pain, eventually reveals the white-armored hero's whereabouts. In a final desperate move, Sung Woo-jeon's servants launch an attack which prompts Jung-soo Park to defend himself. In the midst of the chaos, Sung Woo-jeon contemplates his actions, acknowledging his desire for recognition and the isolation that accompanies being a hero tasked with saving the world. Determined to survive, Sung Woo-jeon watches as Jung-soo Park overcomes the servant assault and protects So-min. Jung-soo Park declares there is no escape for Sung Woo-jeon, asserting the inevitability of a hero's demise. Sung Woo-jeon commands his servants to unleash a devastating attack, known as the Praying Flower. In response, Jung-soo Park harnesses the element of electricity, preparing for an electrifying showdown. With determination, Jung-soo Park launches his godly lightning strike, a lightning-fast javelin technique. The attack pierces through the servants and Sung Woo-jeon, culminating in the fall of the Golem hero who had wreaked havoc on Jeju Island and the naval fleet. In a distant realm, Suo Shin, who implored Sung Woo-jeon to vanquish the Demon King, celebrates alongside her companions, offering prayers for the hero's well-being. Conversely, Sun Woo-jun's tears flow as he nears his end, lamenting his unfulfilled promise and desperate desire to avoid death. For the first time in ages, Jeju Island finds itself in a state of peace. On the other hand, Sumin releases the imprisoned people, spreading happiness across the island. Meanwhile, Jung-soo Park observes the island's inhabitants, longing for the safety and joy he sees in one particular family. Their happiness reminds him of his own family, lost to him. Sumin approaches Jung-soo Park, introducing herself and questioning his seclusion. She's keen to uncover the hero behind the Golem hero's demise, asking Jung-soo Park if she can join. Jung-soo Park dismisses the idea of being hailed as a hero, claiming it would only breed more fear. Sumin's surprised by his response, but he doesn't care about recognition. Sumin then asks if Jung-soo Park plans to eliminate all the heroes, particularly the white armor. He affirms this goal and expresses his intent to target everyone aligned with the sword hero. Sumin offers to assist him, despite his initial doubts. She's seen the hero's locations and abilities on her journey from Seoul to Jeju. To survive the journey, Jung-soo Park needs sustenance, shelter, and transportation, which he can only obtain from ordinary people. Sumin volunteers to help, becoming his guide. When asked for her reasons, Sumin reveals her lack of power, sorrow over her family's loss, anger towards the heroes, and concern for others. She wants revenge, so she chooses to stick by Jung-soo Park to achieve it. Later, Jung-soo Park sharpens his javelin while Sumin watches. She asks him to choose between a nearby, bothersome hero and a more distant, but less annoying one. He opts for the hero who will meet the quickest end. As Sumin writes, she mentions their next foe, the Sea Dragon hero, responsible for devastating a Pacific Ocean fleet and committing mass murders on refugees bound for Jeju Island. Sumin recalls her mother's tragic fate at the hands of this Sea Dragon hero. Jung-soo Park admonishes Sumin not to glorify the hero's crimes, reminding her that they're dealing with a murderer. Their priority is securing a boat for the impending sea battle. Sumin knows someone who can help. After regaining the boats stolen by the Golem hero, Jung-soo Park and Sumin seek assistance from the surviving Marines. The captain pledges to honor their fallen comrades and help them reach their destination. In the southern coastal sea, a massive whirlpool swirls with the Sea Dragon hero sensing a threat. If you don't want to be caught up in this massive whirlpool, make sure to subscribe and like the video. On the shoreline, a lone Marine takes a cigarette break. Suddenly, the captain strides over and announces they have a mere 2 hours before they set sail. Doubt fills the air as the Marine voices concerns: the mysterious hero who defeated the Golem, the possibility of defeating monstrous Kim Min-soo, and the daunting return to land. Seeking guidance, he questions why they must return to this nightmare. The captain's reply brims with conviction. The Golem hero's fall to Jung-soo Park signifies a mission to eliminate all heroes, amidst the uncertainty. Over 30 comrades who were considered sons by the captain have fallen. He's resolute, ready to face the afterlife for their sake. Tears flow as the captain states that if Jung-soo Park surpasses Kim Min-soo, this voyage will spark their nation's freedom. The Marines will ensure their legacy, making these sacrifices meaningful. An hour after setting sail on the Southern Ocean, Sumin sketches the Sea Dragon hero. She tentatively shares her artwork with Jung-soo Park, who playfully critiques it as a basic stick figure. Jung-soo Park reassures Sumin, emphasizing the pivotal roles of both Suo-shin and the dragon in this hero's unique dynamic. Unlike previous encounters, this hero can act independently. Suo-shin used to ride atop the dragon, but now it can move autonomously. Jung-soo Park inquires about the Sea Dragon hero's attack patterns, to which Sumin responds with insights gleaned from battles against soldiers assisting refugees. The dragon deploys fiery breath and ship-toppling body slams, with Suo-shin shielding them from incoming attacks, a combination of offense and defense. Jung-soo Park concludes that the Sea Dragon hero would be formidable to contend with. During a discussion amongst Marines, a sudden noise jolts them into panic. Jung-soo Park and Sumin rush outside to investigate, finding an unknown object on the radar. Anxiety courses through the crew until they realize it's just a school of fish, a false alarm that eases Sumin's fear. However, Jung-soo Park advises caution. Soon, a real threat surfaces in the form of a massive whirlpool and the Sea Dragon hero, Suo-shin. Their eyes meet as the dragon rains fiery destruction upon their ship. The captain orders evasive maneuvers, but Jung-soo Park chooses to drop anchor, causing confusion among the crew. The captain stands firm, insisting on anchoring. Meanwhile, Suo-shin commands the dragon to unleash fiery breath. Jung-soo Park equips an ansile, releasing a shockwave as a warning. The clash between shockwave and fire breath unleashes a colossal impact. In the midst of the ongoing battle, Marine forces faced a dire situation. Jung-soo Park valiantly shielded his comrades, leaving them unable to retaliate. Desperation surged as a Marine called for distraction orders from the captain. Realizing the need for a diversion, the captain rallied the crew for battle, aiming for the Dragon Hero's heads. The ship unleashed a barrage of missiles and firepower at the Sea Dragon Hero, while the dragon continued to attack Jung-soo Park. Despite the ship's missile assault, Suo-shin conjures an impervious shield of Atlas to thwart them. His hardened Marines find solace in the captain's words. They understand their firearms are futile against these formidable foes. Their mission? To prolong the distraction. The captain orders continuous attacks, exhausting all available ammunition. As the ship persists in its assault on the dragon, Jung-soo Park perseveres in blocking its fiery onslaught. Observing a crucial detail, Jung-soo Park notes Suo-shin's magical barrier, weakening as her mana drains into the dragon. With hope rekindled, Jung-soo Park resolves to deplete her mana reserves. But still, he holds the line against the dragon's onslaught. Suo-shin becomes aware of Jung-soo Park's discovery and changes the tide by transforming her wand into the Spear of Atlas. She hurls it towards Jung-soo Park, expertly altering its trajectory. Jung-soo Park is taken aback as the spear changes course, threatening both the ship and the Marines. Marines scramble to evade the incoming spear. It narrowly misses the captain but fatally pierces a Marine. Suo-shin manipulates the spear once more, directing it towards Jung-soo Park from behind, believing this to be his end. However, a Marine who had earlier left with the captain's words in mind intercepts the spear. He recalls the captain's resolve and sacrifices himself to protect his comrades, blocking the deadly projectile. Suo-shin is left dumbfounded as the Marine sacrifices himself to block the spear. His dying wish implores Jung-soo Park to make good use of it. Gratitude swells within Jung-soo Park as he takes hold of the spear and infuses it with the power of glaciation. In the afterlife, the fallen Marine apologizes to his 30 comrades and finds solace in their embrace. In her youth, Suo-shin found herself summoned to the underwater kingdom of Atlas. Welcomed by the king, she displayed a newfound calmness. The king inquired about her knowledge of returning home and the ensuing responsibilities. Though she possessed the knowledge, the weight of it unsettled her. A cherished relic, a spear was revealed, a symbol of the Sea Dragon's hero. As Suo-shin accepted it, a pact of trust was forged. With a kiss on her hand, the king vowed protection on her quest to vanquish the Demon King. Amidst this, Jung-soo Park faces off against a dragon, using an ancient ansal to defend himself from the scorching breath of the beast. With precision, he hurls a spear that freezes Bless, prompting Suo-shin to urgently plead for strengthened defenses. Bless heeds her command, stopping the assault as Suo-shin conjures the Grand Shield of Atlas to bolster their protection. The battle escalates as the relentless spear pierces through their 5-tier magical defense barrier, creating palpable tension. When the spear breaches the third barrier, Suo-shin's anxiety heightens. With the second barrier shattered, Jung-soo Park leaps towards the first, initially prompting relief in Suo-shin as she successfully blocks the spear. However, her relief is short-lived as she realizes Jung-soo Park's true intention: to create a path for himself. In a swift and calculated move, he defeats the Sea Dragon hero with his proverbs. Suo-shin's final words express her love and devotion to him. In a flashback, it's revealed that Suo-shin and a king once defeated the Demon King together, changing their fates. Their love blossomed, leading to a heartfelt kiss. Despite their happiness, Suo-shin's tears betray her fear of losing the king due to the demon's demise. He promises to join her in the hero world as Atlas King and Guardian. This baffles Atlas residents, but the king is resolute in his duty fulfillment. Their marriage marks the problems. The Sea Dragon King struggles to maintain a human form, causing their happiness to crumble. They retreat to an isolated island to hide their true identity. After a sea dragon sighting, they're branded terrorists and outcasts. Suo-shin remains unwavering in her protection. In his final moments, the king professed his love before passing away. Meanwhile, Kim Min-soo learns of the deaths of the hero of golems and the hero of sea dragons at the hands of Jung-soo Park. Lee Sung-jun presents Jung-soo Park as a symbol of hope, and Kim Min-soo realizes he must act to protect the nation's image. Armed with determination, he readies himself for a new battle as the end approaches once more. In a realm where vengeance fuels the hero, a knight delivers unsettling news to a mage: the return of the formidable Burbash, and the mysterious disappearance of Ansal, the fifth spear. This signals the hero's return, sparking a need for retribution. The mage swiftly orders blacksmiths to mend countless spears, a debt to be repaid to the hero. From the start, this hero cared little about saving the world. Among generations of spear-wielding heroes, Jung-Soo Park's resolve stood unmatched. Through grueling training, he sought to vanquish the white-armored adversary. His weakness led to Dabin's demise, driving him to fulfill his duties relentlessly. Jung-Soo Park became not a hero, but a sinner or a revenge spirit, bearing countless scars. A compassionate girl tended to Jung-Soo Park's wounds, questioning what his family would think of his battered form. His response was grime. No family remained, all perished. Asked about his haste to confront the Demon King, Jung-Soo Park revealed a burning desire for vengeance against the White Armor, whom he considered immensely powerful. He vowed to surpass this adversary, to inflict slow, agonizing torment. His twisted resolve frightened the girl. Seeking strength, Jung-Soo Park revives the hero of the spear with an elixir of miracles to continue their relentless combat. When victory finally favored Jung-Soo Park, his companions offered support for his quest to revenge. Meanwhile, blacksmiths toiled on a new spear. The mage offered a plea to the hero, never to become a monster, even after vengeance. In the depths of his mind, Jung-Soo Park grappled with haunting doubts. He heard the voice of Kim Min-soo, questioning his role as savior and hero. But for Jung-Soo Park, satisfaction lay in being Kim Min-soo's murderer. Amidst the frigid expanse, Jung-Soo Park approaches a ship where Somin awaits. She reveals that Jung-Soo Park has slain another hero, hinting at his potential to eliminate them all. Searching the ship, they find no survivors. Somin implores Jung-Soo Park for a solution, and he conjures a shield and a path. A brief exchange about steering the ship leads to a misunderstanding. Jung-Soo Park leaves Somin to rest, leaving her frustrated and eager to prove herself. While Somin explores the ship at night, she stumbles upon Jung-Soo Park gathering the deceased soldiers. Moved by their sacrifice, he pays his respects and prays for a world without such sacrifices. Somin watches in silence, her mood shifting from anger to sorrow. The following day, a helicopter arrives bearing representatives of the Reconstruction government led by Choi Jung-wook. Their task was securing the hero of the revolt, a potentially uncertain ally. Somin believes them to be the hero's subordinates due to their attire, and considers their safety. Jung-Soo Park suggests caution, as rumors circulate about an anti-hero organization formed by the government and surviving soldiers. As the latter descends from the helicopter, Choi Jung-wook introduces himself to Jung-Soo Park. Somin and Jung-Soo Park board the helicopter. Somin notices the soldiers' appearance and deduces they are indeed from the Reconstruction government. Meanwhile, Jung-Soo Park inquires about their destination. Choi Jung-wook mentions that they'll be the ones asking questions. He casually lights a cigarette, leading Somin to plead for dialogue instead. A soldier intervenes, holding Somin at gunpoint. Choi Jung-wook asserts it's you, and not them aboard. The Reconstruction government lacks information about Somin and doesn't trust her. Somin clarifies their role as passengers, not allies. Jung-Soo Park questions the efficacy of a gun against a hero, prompting Choi Jung-wook to reveal a bomb, warning of dire consequences if it detonates. Somin urges Jung-Soo Park to remain calm. Choi Jung-wook uses familial terms to demand compliance, ordering the soldiers to restrain them. They eventually arrive at the South Korean Reconstruction government complex, where Jung-Soo Park is tied up. Choi Jung-wook anticipates that the real game is about to commence. Meanwhile, Garam Lee employs her advanced drone network to track down Jung-Soo Park and the Reconstruction government's base. If you enjoyed the recap, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for more epic updates. Until then, see you in the next one.